Hello, and this is Kingy with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I'm going to be doing another clan boss video. Oop, don't go right here. And so we'll just quickly run through the team and the priorities. So this is set up for Ultra Nightmare mode. This team can work on Nightmare mode, but you need a different cooldown setup. So I got Geomancer at 175, opening with his A2, and then just going in with his A3. So that way, we'll get into that. Stats pretty decent. It's a good survival team, pretty much. We've got Godzilla Neri. She can be replaced with sort of any buff extender, but I chose her because of the heals she brings, so that's pretty sweet. So she opens with her A1 and just default after that. She's at 178 speed. Then we've got Seppolka Sentinel. She's opening with her A1 as well. She's on a 4:3 ratio at 240 speed. Her speed can go from like 238 up to like 248 or something like that. So that works out quite well. We've got Rearguard Sergeant at 179 speed, opening again with her A1 and just prioritizing that A3 to make sure that all goes off. So she's, very solid stats, high HP, high defense, and Toregi the Frog, similar sort of thing, high HP, really high defense. I got him a really high defense because his buff, defense up buff, drops on one of the attacks from Seppolka Sentinel, so he does have reflect damage, but I've just stacked out his defense to really help out. He opens up with his A3, and I've got his A2 turned off because we just simply don't need it. You can use it, doesn't really matter. Possibly does more damage than the A1, but I like the more chance of getting the decreased attack, so I can ensure that I've got that, even though I've got 3 champions using decreased attack. So that's the team. Basically, for the speed, you want Toregi to be the slowest of the 3, and then Geomancer the second slowest, Godseeker Neri the third slowest, and then Rearguard Sergeant needs to be the second fastest, basically the fastest of those 4, and then obviously Sepulcher Sentinel's in a league of her own for a 4:3 ratio. You can run Geomancer or Sepulcher Sentinel in the lead. I'm usually prefer Geomancer, so that way on like a Spirit Affinity or a Void Affinity, the stun hits Geomancer instead of Sepulcher, which gives Sepulcher Sentinel's A3 a chance to proc. Not that it matters because he does have Valor Protection, but it's there anyway. He does bring a HP aura, which is fine. So let's get into the run. So full auto, it's all set up, just hit auto. You don't have to worry about hitting auto off or manualing at any certain point, which is awesome. So the idea with the team is that on the clan boss, AoE 1, everybody will have protection and increased defense. Toregi the Frog will not have increased defense, but he will have reflect damage from the reflect damage he puts on himself. Then on the after the clan boss AoE 1 and before the AoE 2, Sepulcher Sentinel will go increased defense, block debuffs, and then Toregi the Frog will go ally protection and then his own buffs. Then clan boss goes, and then at the top of the stun hit, we've got Rearguard Sergeant with her ally protection, and Godseeker Neri with a heal and extension. And that's the survivability style of it. And then with Geomancer, he's using his A2 after the clan boss AoE 1, so that way he steals the increased attack. And then he's using his HP burn just on the next attack. It doesn't matter, it's on a 3-turn duration, so you can use that whenever, but you just want his A2 to be used after the AoE 1. As for the damage in this team is all coming from Geomancer's passive and Toregi the Frog Poison's passives. So that's the main source of the damage. Godseeker Neri, she will bring a little bit of damage. Rearguard Sergeant and Sepulcher Sentinel won't bring that much, but they bring a tiny amount, enough to help the team out. As for how well the team survives, I think it's about a 50-turn team. It's a pretty solid team. Of course, you could upgrade champions a Venomage, and he would be amazing. But yeah, let's just quickly run through from left to right what the champions bring. So Sepulcher Sentinel in this team is crucial. She brings decreased attack, increased defense, and block debuffs. That's her main thing, the increased defense and the block debuffs. So she's crucial for that. Rearguard Sergeant, she can just be replaced. She's there pretty much for the decreased defense, but then she also brings an ally protection and a continuous heal, which just helps a little bit. But if you had like a Venomage in her spot, that would also be sweet. Venomage has decreased defense, and then she's also got more passive damage mitigation. A lot of other champions can go in her spot. You could also bring in a Versoth the Grim. He has ally protection, increased defense, and he's also got a leech. So Versoth the Grim is also an amazing champion there. That leech, along with lifesteal on everyone, will just make sure that you are at full health at every turn, and then the increased defense ally protection will allow for Toragi the Frog to make sure he maintains that increased defense throughout the 3 rounds. And then Geomancer, he's there for your damage, so he strips the increased attack, as you'll see in a minute. He actually steals it because the clan boss is under HP burn. He also places HP burn and weaken, which is good. And he also gets that passive damage mitigation, which is sweet. Then Toragi the Frog, obviously passive poisons. Then of course the ally protection also brings that decreased attack, and not a lot else besides that, just a bunch of poison damage and protection for your team. And then Godseeker Neri, she brings buff extension and heals. So buff extension is her priority, but the heals is good. And if you build her strong, she can also put out a chunk of damage. As you can see there, 101k hit from her A1, which is very, very solid. She's a defense-based champion, hits pretty hard, so which makes her quite good for that. So the damage is pretty decent, as you can see, turn 21 out of 14 mil. A lot of opportunities here, like if you wanted to change things up, you could take out a Seppolka Sentinel and bring in a Brogni, and then Brogni would be run at a 1-to-1 ratio along with the rest of the team. And Brogni alone with the right gear could bring this team up to like a 1 key, which is just insane how good he is, because he will bring a shield, the block debuffs, and also that shield reflect, which, yeah. So Brogni, really, really good substitute for Seppolka Sentinel. Besides that, this whole team is based around the Geomancer and Toragi the Frog. Of course, Toragi the Frog isn't a necessity. You could actually run the Rearguard Sergeant in his position and have somebody else in Rearguard's place. But Toragi with his poisons just brings protection and damage. And it also makes it a very good affinity team. So Force Affinity is probably going to be the lowest damage of all the affinity clan boss teams. Magic would probably be the strongest to go against, and Spirit would be good damage, but you'd also take a fair bit of damage. So I think Force Affinity, which the clan boss currently is actually probably the hardest to fight against, just with how his damage is, but maybe Spirit's worse. The reason why I say Force is a bit harsh is because on a Force Affinity, obviously, the stun target is Toragi the Frog, who is the main Protect champion. But that's alright. And if you're wondering why I haven't done a video for quite a while, I've just been building up resources. And trying to build up resources and work out what teams I want to do and all that sort of stuff. I was really hoping to be able to get a Venomage, but no luck trying to pull her, so just decided to save my shards and see what happens later on. If I do end up pulling a Venomage, I'll definitely use her in the team. If there's any other champions you'd like to see in Clan Boss, let me know. I'm thinking about using Versoth the Grim as the main guy in a Clan Boss team, because he does have that ally protection and increased defense and leech. If you'd like to see Versoth the Grim in a Clan Boss team, let me know in the comments, please do. And then I'll book him out and I'll give him a run, because I think he could be quite good. And he is a past fusion or fragment summon or something like that. I can't quite remember how I got him. One of those. So I assume that a lot of people might have him and also might underestimate him. So if you do have him built or otherwise not built, let me know and might run him in a Clan Boss team and see how he goes. Geomancer, Toragi the Frog, yeah, they're good champions. If you like, I can't really think of anything else to say about this team. It's a very straightforward team, easy to build, 2 key team. I think this team would just scrape by 2 key. I've got decent stats on them, but Rearguard Sergeant probably isn't the right champion for the position. You might want someone who brings more heals or some sort of better mitigation, because the only thing she brings is a continuous heal and then ally protection on Taragi the Frog. So she's not that critical in this team. I mainly just brought her in because of the defense down. Any defense down champion could take her spot, pretty much. Yeah. And I probably wouldn't bring like a block buffs champion, because that increased attack that Geomancer steals actually helps his damage a fair bit from his A1, which allows him to really get some nice heals out. As for the lead, again, you can run Seppolka Sentinel, Geomancer, or anybody else that you desire to bring in. Yeah. Rio Bone Spear would also be a great option to bring in this team, because she has a massive heal. She has all the debuffs, including decreased critical rate, so you never have to worry about a critical rate death. The only thing you got to be careful with her is her HP burn, so you need to make sure that you time her HP burn against Geomancer, so that way Geomancer's is priority. His is on a 3-turn duration versus hers, which is on a 2-turn duration, so his should prioritize, but you just need to make sure it all happens at the right time. Again, Rio Bone Spear is Void Legendary, so maybe not too many people have her. Here we are, coming up on turn 45 at almost that 35 mil damage, so we're getting quite good there. As you can see, Taragi the Frog's damage is really starting to add up. He's not quite getting the heals he needs, so he should die any turn soon. There we go, 35 mil. We've hit our 2 key damage, nice and easy. Again, if you brought a Brogni in, this team would just keep on surviving. And a Brogni also makes the speed tune a hell of a lot easier, because you don't need anyone at that 240 range. There you go, turn 47, Taragi died, but then Godzilla Neri brought him back with her passive, so it's interesting, but he's dead anyway, so be it. So this team didn't last as long as I probably thought they would have, but the damage is all there, so I suppose it all works out. So at turn 50 it looks like we're going to die here. Coming in with... oh, well, that's not fun. Connection area? Oh, that's because of the update. Alright, well, I guess I'll go do the update and then come back and then... well, you've seen the build. So basically, the builds are what they were. With the speeds and everything I showed you at the start of the video. As for the gear, everybody's on lifesteal, with other champions on specific sets, like Rearguard Sergeant, she's got an Immortal set, Geomancer has got a Perception set, and that sort of stuff, but everybody's on lifesteal. And then as for Masteries, it doesn't really matter as long as you pick up Warmaster, Giant Slayer, whatever you need for the whatever champion. And then going down the defense tree would be absolute best to try and pick up all those damage mitigations. Other than that, you can go down support tree, but you shouldn't need to because the speeds are very easy to hit. So yeah, like the video, and if you, yeah, please like the video, subscribe. Please do comment below. I try and reply to every comment I see. They're great to reply to and everything like that. If you're worried about my videos and how come there's so much distance between all of them, like I said before, I was just trying to save up resources to build teams, build champions, test everything out. So that's the only reason why there's so much gap between my teams. I was thinking about doing a little arena team. Maybe not arena team, maybe an arena showcase, because I use bombs in arena. Which is quite interesting. So if you'd like to see some arena or any other sort of videos, please also do let me know. And on that note, thank you for watching, and yeah, hope you enjoy. Catch you later.